Hello everyone. Now we will go for the second video of the preparation for your oral exam for electromagnetic engineering. Now I'll go for the topic that is electric flux density. That electric flux density that is denoted by D. And here, what is electric flux density? How it is proved? What is its unit? Okay, so this is what the electric flux density related topic. So you can have the questions on the electric flux density related topic. Now the important thing is that is what is the relation between E and D, that is electric field intensity and electric flux density D, that and how it is related by the epsilon zero or in the free space or in otherwise. So that can be discussed or that can be asked. So that is what the one type of question. Then we will go for the Gauss law. So Gauss law for the static field, what is Gauss law? What is its statement that you have to explain, and how flux passing through the closed surface equals to charge enclosed, and how the psi equals to d dot ds. How the what is the integral form of the Gauss law, point form of the Gauss law, and maybe the simple numerical based on the Gauss law may be asked. And in the point form of the Gauss law, you have the derivation. Some part of that may be asked. Then we will go for the other parameter, that is the magnetic field, steady magnetic field. In the magnetic field, you have the magnetic flux density, that is B. So what is the magnetic flux density, and how it is related? Now two electrical parameter we discussed, that is D and E. Now we will go for the two magnetic parameter, that is B and H. So this is magnetic flux density, how it can be related with the current. So that is can be given. And permeability of a medium, what is permeability, that is mu. What is the permeability of medium? What is its unit, that is Henry per meter, permeability of the medium. What is H, and what is the relation between B and H, how B and H are related by the mu? That is also the another question. Then we may go for the Biot-Savart law. What is Biot-Savart law and what is its statement? So that can be asked. So simple discussion on Biot-Savart law can be discussed. What is Biot-Savart law and how it is discussed. Then we will go for the boundary condition. So there are two boundary conditions, that is the electric parameter, that is D and E, that is what is the tangential parameter boundary condition, and then normal parameter boundary condition. So dielectric interface boundary condition, that may be asked what is the need of the boundary condition. So you can have, as there is the medium 1 and medium 2 having the epsilon 1 and epsilon 2 are the permittivity. Okay, and then if the wave transfer from one medium to the another medium, there are certain changes that has been discussed in the boundary condition. So what are that changes that we have discussed in detail in the previous videos, so that you elaborate your answer. Now this that is one for the electric medium, that is relation between D and E, that is tangential component and normal component. And then in the boundary condition, you just have the elaborate answer, that is what is the boundary condition. Then I'll go for the capacitors. So very quickly I am giving the topics. So in the capacitors, next is the capacitors. Capacitors are discussed in detail. Analysis of capacitors. So what is the starting from the unit of the capacitance, and what is the role of permittivity of dielectric in, that is the epsilon in the capacitance. So in the capacitance, the analysis various analysis we have discussed. Then here the potential of the upper plate, how it is calculated, and what is the relation between C, Q, and V. That is, we know that C equals to Q upon V. and how it can be related with the epsilon. So further formula we can have C equals to epsilon A upon D. What is A? A is the surface area of the plate. What is D? D is the separation between these two plates. Epsilon can be written as epsilon 0 into epsilon R. Okay, so this is the simple capacitance. Now the capacitor with multiple dielectric, if I will use the capacitor with multiple dielectric and the capacitor and the dielectric are adjacent to each other, that is the plate is there, and if the two plates are there, and the half part is the dielectric one, half part is dielectric two, then what will be the impact, whether these capacitors will be in series or in parallel? This is what the question. So how they are in series and how they are in parallel? So if they are in what you can say, they are adjacent. So if the capacitor are this way and dielectric is half the dielectric is epsilon 1, half the dielectric is epsilon 2. So this is what the condition. So in this condition, what will be the equivalent capacitance? Suppose C1 is the capacitance by the epsilon 1 and C2 is the capacitance by the epsilon 2. So in this case, we have C equals to C1 plus C2. So you can ask about the justification of this, how it is there. You may ask to have the derivation. It is 4-step derivation. You can explain it in that way. If the dielectrics are above each other, this is dielectric 1 above dielectric 2 and upper plate and lower plate. The dielectric, it is sandwiched between two plates. Then what will be the impact? Then what will be the overall capacitance? If epsilon 1 is the upper dielectric constant, epsilon 2 is the lower, d1 is the upper, d2 is the width of the lower one. So that derivation you are aware. So you can, how you will have the equivalent capacitance. So the diagram may be shown and you have been asked that they calculate the equivalent dielectric, or you can ask to find explain this, that how this is there. So we have 1 upon C equals to 1 upon C1 plus 1 upon C2. So this simple equation or a simple thing that you can be asked. Now the important question here, that is if the simple questions may be given, that the find the total capacitance if the plates are the square with certain dimension and having the upper plate area this much, lower plate area this much, and the dielectric constant is this. So these questions may be given for the calculation. So you have to do the calculation. Okay. So this is what the capacitance. So this way, the capacitance will come into the picture, and you have to give the answers for that capacitance. Then I will go for the Maxwell's equation. Now, in the Maxwell's equation, you may have the very first question for Maxwell's equation. That is why there is a need of Maxwell's equation. So this is what the logical question. As in the Maxwell's equation, the equations are already derived by the Gauss, the Ampere, and the other scientists. So why there is the need of the Maxwell's equation? What is the contribution of Maxwell's equation? This way the questions may be asked. Now the answer, the hint I will give, that is in the Maxwell's equation, although the other scientist has proved or given the equation, Gauss law, Ampere's and the others, but they are given it for the static field, static electromagnetic field. And what the Maxwell's has given it for the time varying field. And due to the Maxwell's contribution, I'll explain later on what is its contribution, that you can elaborate in detail. Now the next topic may be the current. What are the different types of current? So you may have the conduction current, convection current, and the displacement current. So what are the various current? Conduction current, convection current, displacement current. So conduction current is the current which obeys the Ohm's law, that you have studied everywhere. Convection current is the current that flows through the CRT, the electron gun and the electron force. And the most important is the displacement current. This is what the major contribution of the Maxwell's equation. So what is the displacement current and how it flows? So by the derivations of the Maxwell's, that is del cross H equals to J for the steady magnetic field, and how it is not true for the time varying condition, that you have to explain with the current continuity equation, that is del dot J is not equals to 0 for the time varying field. So it will be partial differentiation of rho v with respect to time. With this clue, you have to explain that del dot H equals to J plus JD. And this way, the displacement current, there is something displaced when there is the time varying field, then there is something displaced other than the conduction current outside. And due to this displacement current, there is a radiation between two transmitting and receiving antenna, one transmitting and one receiving antenna. This way you can explain. So this is what the Maxwell's equation. Displacement current is the most important thing in the Maxwell's equation. And what are the applications? So if Maxwell's has not derived the Maxwell's equation, then what happened? You may have the questions on the Hertz dipole indirectly relate to the Maxwell's equation, that after 14 years, how the Maxwell's equation can be relayed by the Hertz. So by using the Hertz dipole. And the last question, maybe, but not least, maybe on the capacitor, that is related to the Maxwell's equation, how current flow through the capacitor plate, because the capacitor plates are separated by the dielectric medium. So there is no conductor. So how current flow? So you can explain it by the Maxwell's equation. And finally, you can have the Maxwell's equation for the time varying field. You can ask to write a Maxwell's equation for the time varying field and the steady magnetic field in the differential form, point form, or the integral form. So that equations you should know, and you are able to reproduce it, and you are able to explain it. So that is the Maxwell's equation in static field, as well as Maxwell's equation for time varying field. So these things are expected for the Maxwell's equation. The remaining portion I will give you in the next video. Thank you.